Right. And we're off Lions TV. This is your preview show. We're looking ahead to Saturday's early kickoff at the Den, 12:30 against Preston. It is an early kickoff. And today I'm joined by Sir Kenneth of Draper. How are you, mate?
I'm good, Dan. How are you?
I'm good. You look really comfortable sitting there.
I'm glad.
So Kenny's got an electrician coming round. We're having a bit of a ding-dong about his brightness. I appreciate him being on the videos. Saves me a lot of time editing because I can just take it off StreamYard. But yeah, we've got some lights out, Ken, so we're doing what we can.
Yeah, we've got 5 lights out. We've got 5 lights out. It's just horrendous. And the missus likes these dodgy lights as well that don't actually give any light, but they look good. So, yeah.
It's all about looking good when you're a good win, mate.
Yeah.
She won't be one for much longer. Right. So this is going to be the preview, obviously. But before that, you said to me, I can do a video today. I said, brilliant, jump on. Saves me doing the more edited, longer format. And you said, post-match as well. I said, I've said all I wanted to say last night. Fucking drained myself. But for one last time, let's wind it back to Tuesday night's horror show in Birmingham. Take it away.
Yeah, for me, look, we was always, if we was going to lose away from home, I think we was always going to lose in that style. I think you said it, Dan, whether it was in your post-match or whether you said it in the group. Like, we don't do things by halves. You know, we could either have beaten them 4-0 or we could have got smashed 4-0, and we got smashed. Too many passengers on that pitch the other night for me. Too many weak links for me in that night. Just sort of, you know, when they say, like, you know, a cold, wet Tuesday night in Stoke, where it was a cold, wet Tuesday night in Birmingham. And some people don't show up in that, in that type of environment. And I think there was, you know, a good 2 or 3 players that didn't show up. I also think, and I don't want to slag the manager off, but I do think that he got a lot wrong on Tuesday. I think that what he's trying to do is he's trying to fit players into positions where players previously were doing well. You know, you're trying to get the Serb to do the same things as what Coburn was doing, and you're trying to get Ballo to do the same things that Aziz was doing. Instead of changing play, he's just changed players. And I think that was the wrong move, in my opinion.
Yeah, you think maybe a different style of play, a different formation?
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
We have got, obviously, the injuries. You said we've got no Aziz, we've got no Coburn, and you put it in the group early, and I said this in my post-match from last night, which you said you haven't seen yet. But people ain't moaning so much about Coburn now.
No, listen, I said over and over, Coburn is, for me, by far a much better striker than Ivanovic. And I think that, you know, all the people that were slagging Coburn off are sort of half hoping that he can make it back with a couple of games to go. I don't know what's going on with this lighting, Dan. It keeps flicking in and out.
Tell me about it, mate. I'm the one who's got to edit it. We got no. I tell you another big. We got no Aziz, no Coburn, and no Luongo as well now. And like you said, on that pitch, they weren't like they're especially Luongo in that position. He's an older pro, and he's been around it. And he's like say cold Tuesday and wet nights in fucking Stoke or Birmingham. He would have suited that game definitely. I feel something like that. So we have got injuries, but we keep saying how good our squad depth is. But is it? I think it is in certain positions, but across the squad, I don't think too much.
No, across the squad, I'll say your defensive line. You've probably got people. You've got people that could do a job there, but they wouldn't be people that you'd start. You know, like your Wes Hardins. You know, I don't think Wes Hardin does anything wrong, but I also don't think you ever want to start him unless you have to. Midfield, you've probably only got one really, which is Luongo. You know, because Casper's playing, Billy Mitchell's playing, Sacco's playing. It is only Luongo left out of that, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I'm just thinking. I've got notes in my head now for 2 things you've just said there. One on Harding, and the position you're going to say. The Harding thing is someone put in my comments, Dan, he's not a right back, which he actually, to be fair to the bloke, was right. He plays right back for us, but he was never a right back. He's a centre back. And in the midfield, Daniel Kelly, if you want to count him. Another AI character.
Not really.
Another AI character along with Benicio Baker and fucking Zach Lovelace. It generated AI for fun at the training ground. I go, what's going on? And they're 3 young men and all.
Yeah. I think that's the club needs to probably give the fans a lot more information on that. You know, these were players that were coming in. They were exciting signings, Mr. Fairbrother. You know, and we've got all these players in, and all of a sudden we know nothing about them. And it's been what 3-4 months now. You know, I think it's about time that the club come out and said something to us.
I mean, they may have. I haven't seen a lot of associates. I've been working lately. I've been working loads, but the Lovelace one in particular, you know, we've seen him before. He was at the club. He was a forward. He's gone away. Now he's come back, and apparently when he come back, I remember seeing an article. I think it's from Steve Gallen saying he was a striker. He still is, but he's also adapted his game so he can play in the 10 or on a wide. Then he played in a 21s game with a lot of other players that were there or thereabouts fitness wise, like Alfie Doherty, etc. And then since that day, they've all played, and he's the only one that hasn't. So I don't know what's going on. I'm hearing in training, he's a good, he's very good. But I think it could be just the problem of getting him right and getting him on the pitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, look, I think I know Rangers, you know, it's not the best team in the world. However, he's played in some big games. I think he's played European football as well, hasn't he, before Rangers? You know, he's got to be half decent. And we said this in the group earlier as well, didn't we? He's got to be decent, this Lovelace. So why isn't he playing? You know, it can't be anything to do with injury because, like you say, he's been given minutes.
Well, Teddy said, didn't he? Maybe it's they don't want to rush him back. And I said, I get that, Ted, but we're in a fucking rush. And the reason we're having this conversation in the first place about Lovelace is I just think it's the last transfer window. We didn't get Arabi. We let Nisbet go. That put us down to 3. We knew Coburn was injury prone. He got injured. Now we're down to Langstaff and the Serb. It looks like he plays in a size 12 pair of the walks at the minute, doesn't he? Can't run. He can't do anything.
I think that we're past. I think we're past giving the Serb a chance right now, because I think it's costing us. I think that the way that, but also I do blame Alex Neil a little bit as well because I don't think we're also playing to his strengths either. All the Serb is a poacher. You know, he's not one of these players that's going to chase after everything. He also shouldn't be a striker that plays more with his back to goal than his belly to goal. Do you know what I mean? And he's relying on him, you know, chesting down balls to our 10, who never seems to be in the right area anyway. You know, I personally think that if you're a number 9, your job is to be in and around that box, trying to score goals, not having a ball whacked up to you. And he may have a bad touch. I understand he does have a bad touch, but you know, when I've seen him in and around the penalty box with a chance on goal, he's had a decent touch. But if we're not going to play to his strengths, then we need to give someone else another chance.
The thing is, he got the majority of his goals forming that partnership with Coburn in a 4-4-2, and that worked for a long time. He scored a lot of goals then, but we got found out. Other teams sussed it out. Now Alex Neil isn't playing 2 up front. At the minute, you wouldn't dare because of the lack of strikers we've got at the club. It's just no, you know what I mean? Langstaff and Ivanovic up front, one of them gets injured, you're bringing in AJ Matthews. Of course, the option of Ilo Maku, I like him up front, you like him up front, but I don't think Alex Neil will do that. So it's going to be, you know, moving on to the preview, we'll go to formations in a minute, but it's going to be like a 2 in behind of 1, which you've seen him do away games like at Palace, or he's going to stick with what we've been doing. But what we've been doing, it has been working. I think the late goal at Oxford and then the absolute drubbing at Birmingham has taken it away from the fact we've only lost 1 game in 7 now. All right, we've won 4 or 6, won 4, drawn 1, lost 1. So we're not in bad form, but I think that didn't help the other night. The manner of the defeat, the extent of the scoreline, and the performance of the players. But what do you think he can do to? I know what you go with. We'll look at that shortly. What do you think he could do with the players that he's got and the formations he potentially will play? I know we can't get in his head. But what do you think options are available to him?
I think if you looked at the squad as a whole, there's still plenty of options. But for me, it's style of play that needs to change. So right now, you know, we play some really good football in our own half, right? But you've got to try and make that football go You've got to try and make that football go playing in the last third as well. We've got to get to doing that. That's the big problem. So for me, it's changing. I think we have to be more central orientated.
Yeah,
in my opinion, you know, and have your wing backs and have something exciting up top.
So three formations, we know he plays, right? Three formations, we know, we've seen him play. He's 3 centre backs, 2 wing backs. Yeah, 3 in the middle, 2 up front, or he'll play flat back 4, same formation as last few games. You know, 3 in midfield and then, or 2 in midfield and then 3 in behind the 1, or he'll play the 2 in behind. You know, he'll play 2 central midfields, 2 wide men, and a striker. What do you think he'll go with? Do you think he'll stick with the formation we played over the last 6 games, or do you think he'll change it? And what do you think he will do?
I think he'll stick. I don't think he'll spin. To be honest, I think he'll stick. You know, like you say, we've lost 1 game in 7 games. 1 game in 7. It's really not bad. And I think he looks at things in a lot more longevity than what we probably do as Millwall fans, because we get a loss and get an hiding, and all of a sudden this is it. We're getting relegated. It's the worst season in the world. It's horrible. You know, we all think like it. You know, we're all the same.
Literally a message or a comment that's just popped up my YouTube. I need to work out how to turn it off on my phone. It goes all day every day. I think it's John Parr said we are a strong mid-table team at best. Let's learn to deal with that.
Yeah, but we can't.
I don't agree with John, but that's what you're saying as well. Like, oh, we shit now. Fuck, we lost. We're terrible.
Yeah, we can't. You know, I went on Tuesday night. I mean, I'm watching. God knows how them boys felt. You know, absolutely hammering it down the rain, getting punched in the face, and having a 3-hour journey home, and a 4-0 drubbing. That would have been pissed off. I was so angry Tuesday night. Just to, you know, and it ruined your life, didn't it?
I wasn't. You know what? Yeah, it does. Especially like a Saturday win or loss can determine what you're doing. For me, what you're doing that night. Are you going out and standing? But I just give up. I just give up on Tuesday. I just I zoned out.
Yeah.
Right? I said in my post match, my head was pointed at the telly. I didn't move, and the game was on. Henry actually fell asleep. I was just like, wow. Well, why did we? I mean, Grant our mate put on a group the other day, didn't he? I can't work out whether you, but he's not a Millwall fan, whether you boys are really good or really shit. I said, no, we're a good side, but we just have these capitulations occasionally at the minute, more often than we would like, where we just absolutely. Do you know what Andy Marshall done the post-match commentary? And he was really good. I didn't know it was Andy Marshall until after someone told me in the comments. But he was going, get it all out. Just get it all out tonight. All the little fuck ups, get everything out. You're going to lose anyway. Just get rid of it all in one night.
Yeah.
Fucking get rid of it all in one night. I need to do that. Like intrusive thoughts. You have an intrusive thought sometimes. You want to scream, and you scream and go, that's better. It's done and dusted now. I can move on.
Yeah, we almost probably need Andy Marshall as our therapist as well. Just in
very
life.
Good. He was very good. Right, so I'm going to go with the team first up that I would pick for Saturday's game against Preston. There's a big talking point in here for me because of my video yesterday. If you watch the channel regularly, you're going to see it right now. This is the team that I would go with on Saturday at the Den. 12:30 kickoff against Preston, as you can see rolling across the bottom of the screen. Crocombe in goal. Kramer right back. Taylor and Cooper centre backs. Sturge back in at left back. Denor, Mitchell and Sacco in the centre of midfield. Then I will go with 2 10s like we did at Palace away, and we have a couple other games, I think. In behind the 1, I will go Ballo and Ray Spangura-Williams in behind the big Serb. Right, okay. So I need to explain that now. Harding, I said the other day, he's a consummate professional. I've got nothing against him. But after the other day, you know, we got to get Taylor in this team now. You know, he couldn't get in West Brom's side. We paid a lot of money for him. Now he can't get in our side. It's time, especially with Cooper's age, that he needs to start being bedded in. So I bring him in and I push Kramer at right back, which will make us more more attacking going forward. Joe Bryan, I don't think I need to explain after his performance the other night. Along with the rest of the team, he's got to come back in. And then if Sturge and Kramer bomb on like we know they do, at that central midfield, either Mitchell or Sacco can always drop back in and cover, can't they? Then we still got 3. Right, then I've gone with Bangura-Williams and Ballo in behind Ivanovic. The midfield 3 picks itself for me, like we were just saying. Bangura Williams. Someone put on my YouTube comments. Where are you? There you are. Someone put on my YouTube comments. God, it's night time there all of a sudden. Someone put on my YouTube comments, and they was absolutely spot on. I can't remember who it was. Sorry to say, get loads. We need to play Bangura Williams because when Bangura Williams links up with Ivanovic last season, getting dizzy, he really got the Serb firing. They linked up really, really well, and he assisted the Serb for a few goals off the top of my head. One at Pompey away, one at Luton away, which is both really good goals. And I'm going to go with it. And that for that reason, that is the only reason the Serb stays in the team for me. And if that don't work, he's on borrowed time there by staying in the team. I was going to say play Langstaff, but we need to try and get him firing. So one last throw at the dice to try and get him going is get him in, get Kundu out. Amaku's, he's not going to do it for me as a starter. Let's try something that we know did work last season, and we haven't tried yet this season. So I'm saying, I think he's putting your hand up then.
No, sorry.
Oh, I thought he was asking a question. I was like, it's not school. You can just... That's what I'd go with. And I'd say the Serb only gets in the side. I know I buried him last night. I didn't bury him. I just told the truth about the way he plays football. But if anyone can light him up, it's going to be Bangura Williams based on what we saw last season. Bangura Williams, I don't think he's had a fair crack at the whip this season. If Alex Neil don't fancy him, and Alex Neil don't fancy him. People were saying something about he deactivated his Instagram account. I don't know. I don't read too much into that shit. And believe it or not, I don't try not to go on social media a lot, really, unless I'm posting for Lions TV. But I think Bangura Williams done well when he come on against Charlton. I thought he played well. He got 2 goals that day, 1 disallowed. Thought he played well at Palace. And I think now, over the last 2 games, especially Tuesday against Birmingham, he can be going, Gaffer, Sir Alex, what the fuck? Get me in there.
Yeah.
That's my thinking. What are you saying about my team?
Yeah, listen, I agree with some elements. Things aren't working at the moment. What worked last season, let's try and change it. Ballo for me has one really, really good game, and you're like, Jesus, what a player. And then the next week I feel like he's non-existent. I'm not against Reece Bangura Williams playing, but I think there's just underlining issues there of why he doesn't. Because he's a talent. I'm not saying he's a starter, but I thought he would have got a bit more time this season than what he has, especially after Charlton.
He bench at times, is he?
And at Charlton, I thought he did really well, obviously, and from that you'd think he'd be kicking on for a bit more game time here, in my opinion. So
there's no reason not to. After the Charlton game, there was no reason he did. I think he got his start. He did straight after against Palace. Oh, he's gone. He got his start straight after against Palace.
Yeah, and you can't. For me, the only thing I would say is that I don't think you can't have Ivanovic. I understand your logic of having Ivanovic in there 100%, but for me, last week or Tuesday was his last game for me.
Yeah, I don't want him in. But
yeah.
For the money that we could potentially get for him going forward, we know he can score goals in this division because he did last year. But I am contradicting myself. You're right by saying he's got to go into it. But when I've said what I've said about him yesterday, and I didn't abuse him, I just said he's not a very good footballer.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get offered $9 million for him again.
Not a fucking chance. It'd be the most awful thing ever for him to come in, score 12 goals in his first season, fucking get tatted around, turn down 10, 12 million, and then end up going back to Voj for dinner at the end of his contract, wouldn't he? Ain't scored a goal in 2 years. But there's a goal scorer in there, and if anyone can ignite it with no Aziz, I don't think Ballo can. I don't think Kundal definitely can't. I don't think Amaku can. I think he leans towards Amaku quite a lot, Alex Neil. I think he must quite like him. That's fair enough. I think Amaku's a talent, a bit raw, needs a bit more of a football brain. But I just think, Bangura Williams, why not? Why not after what he did coming against Charlton? Why not after he played at Crystal Palace? It's worth a punt. Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's move on to the team. We've done what you think Alex Neil will do, and we've done the team I would pick. This is the team that Kenny would pick for Saturday's game against Preston. Go on, mate.
Yes, I'd have it's like a 4-1-2-1-2. I'd have Sturgeon Kramer as wing backs. I'd have Cooper and Taylor in the middle. Mazusaku to stay quite deep. I think he's quite good at that. Going forward, I don't think he's particularly good, but I think protecting the back four or back three, if you have a wing back go, would be good. In front of him, I'd have Mitchell and Dinor, sort of box to box, but you sort of want them edge of box to edge of box, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 18-yard line to 18-yard line.
Yeah. Negley in a 10. I appreciate that Negley come as a right-sided player, believe it or not, and his show reel was all goals from him playing off that side. I don't think he is a right-sided player. I think he is a 10. He plays like a 10. All 10s usually are quite lightweight, or they're not robust. They're not looking to jump into tackles all the time and stuff like that. And that is Negley. And then I'd have a Maku and Langstaff up front. I think that a Maku and Langstaff up front are very, very dangerous if played in the right way. So if we're going to launch balls up, Jake Coote was going to do the same diag that he's done for the last 37 years.
And 400 games.
Yeah, and 400 games. That's not going to work for a Maku or Langstaff, right? But if we can push the ball further up the pitch and get in behind teams, Amaku will be an absolute force. Amaku can move 10 times quicker than Ivanovic, firstly, which means he can get himself into positions that Ivanovic can't. But you're going to have centre backs so worried about the pace of Amaku that you're going to forget that regardless of what division Langstaff have scored goals in, Langstaff knows exactly where the back of the net is if given the opportunity, right? And I don't think he's been given enough of an opportunity. I'm not saying he's a great footballer, but his movement's better than Ivanovic, firstly, and his finishing, based on experience, is better than Ivanovic as well. Every league that he's been in, he's scored goals, including the Championship. And I think that it's now time for him to have an opportunity and a run in the team with someone like a Maku beside him. The centre-backs are going to be absolutely petrified of. With someone like Negley behind him that can give a decent ball, whether it's over the top or whether it's... there's so many dangers for me. If Sturge is bombing down the left-hand side... dangers
coming from different areas of the pitch.
100%. You've got Negley here. You've got two strikers. You've got Billy Mitchell and Casper Dinor pushing on behind them. There's a lot of dangers by playing that way. Are we a little bit weaker at the back if we do that? Possibly. But we're at home and we should be going for teams like Preston. I don't care about their form or how good they're doing or whether they can leapfrog us. We should be beating Preston on Saturday. And I think that playing with that type of team now, I think that we would 100%.
When I saw that team, you said it to me, I thought, not so sure. When they've explained it, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. But again, the only problem is, I just don't think he'll ever play Mako up front. I was worried about a little bit about when you said Sturge and Kramer can bomb on. I know I said that as well. But Mazusako's got the legs and he to sit in front of him and get about the pitch. But yeah, I like it. Maybe slightly attacking, but you've got it more. Yeah, I like it. It's like, yeah, it is good. But will he do that or won't he do that? I don't know. I think he'll stick with the one up front personally. And I think he'll go two behind, but we'll see.
Just in case someone can clip this and send it to Alex Neil. Idemo Amaku is a striker. He was bought as a striker, right? And every time that he's been played as a striker, he's scored goals. All right? So stop putting him on the left wing when he's right-footed. Put him as a striker and let him try and score some goals because we seem to be lacking doing that at the moment. All right? Thank you.
There you go. So, Alex, looking at that as well, we were saying change the way we play. If we did change the way we play, would it not suit the Serb? Because what you're saying is don't pump long balls up. So on that basis, it's got to be a little bit, we ain't giving him the right service, are we, the Serb? We do, as bad as he's been, or elusive as he's been, we aren't giving him the right sort of service.
No, but Danny, the problem is he's got a turning circle of an Arctic lorry, right? he can't beat defenders in the air.
You don't win one header.
No, and his touch is awful, right? So for me, I'd rather have Langstaff there because I think that Langstaff is a better striker than Ivanovic at the moment. You know, I'm not saying that Ivanovic could be the next Mitrovic, as we've all been.
Well, I think he wants to as well. It's Nick's celebration, isn't he?
Yeah.
Right. So there you go. Let us know what you think about that in the comments below. And let's move on to our opposition, as we know by now. And of course, we mentioned it is Preston, managed by Paul Heckingbottom. Of course, he was Sheffield United manager. They're absolutely struggling, by the way. Sheffield United down at the foot of the table, or there or thereabouts. And he come and got the Preston job. It's been quite a while now. In the last 5 league games, Preston have lost 2 and won 3. And here's the bad news. They have won 3 on the bounce. I watched them when they beat Sheffield United. Sheffield United were 2-0 up. And on my betting app, I'd back Sheffield United. And I had a 2-up thing where it pays you out 2-0 up. So turn the game over and watch the Spanish game. I think I was at work. But I turned it back to see Preston had got the job done. And since then, they kept it on. Southampton have lost their manager, that weird-looking little ginger dude, Will Steele. He's been sacked, and that was the final now, and he's coughing. But last time out, they beat Swansea by 2-1, Ken, which means they have already leapfrogged us. They currently sit 4th in the table, 1 point above us. Of course, as you can see, a win for us, and it is the early kickoff, of course, as well. We'll see us go back level on points with Stoke. A win for them would see them open up a 4-point gap. What are you saying?
I think we're going to win.
Right.
But I think there's going to be goals. I think we're going to win 3-2. But I'm saying we're going to win 3-2 if we play the formation and the players that I'm playing as manager. If we're going to play what I think Alex Neil's going to play, I think we could lose. And I think we could lose quite heavily again. So if we're not going to be attacking and if we're not going to throw it at them, I think we could easily lose 3-0 on Saturday.
I think we will be attacking. He has said in plenty of press interviews and snippets we've seen online that I want to be a manager that gets the fans' bums off seats, that is attacking and creates chances and scores goals. And just a reminder to everyone, myself included, we have been doing that up until the Birmingham game. Well, we conceded 2 at Oxford. Before that, 4 straight wins. It just seems to have fallen apart very quickly, doesn't it? But I still think it's not falling apart because we're still in a very good place. When do we ever see it at this point of the season? 5th in the table with the potential going joint second. I would imagine, I don't have to check it, the Stoke's goal difference is a lot better than ours. I still think Middlesbrough, they've lost a couple in a row now. They lost to Watford, and I think they drew last time against Swansea. It may have been, I can't remember, but they're starting to drop down. I think they will drop. I don't even want to mention the 6th place. I saw a fucking video of that prick standing on the advertising audience earlier on. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it, yeah.
What a dick. But the opportunity's there. We're still in a very good place. We need to wipe our mouths of the midweek. What does Alex Neil say, Ken? How does he get the players in the right frame of mind and getting back to what we was doing previous to these last 2 games?
But I think, like you say, like we said earlier, it's longevity, isn't it? When you look at it as a whole, it's very simple to go. We weren't here this time last season. You know, we hadn't scored this many goals last season. We're actually in a really, really good position. We're Millwall Football Club in the playoffs at the moment. We've only lost 1 game in the last 7. You know, people are worried about playing us. You know, us as fans go, well, we fucking lost 4-0 Tuesday, and we let in a 96th minute equaliser against Oxford. You know, I think that we look at it longevity. I don't really know what he's to say. I just think he's got to change the way we play for the time being until we've got players. Look, it's not the Aziz show, and this frustrates me because people go, oh, now we ain't got Aziz, we're fucked. We didn't create anything with Aziz on the pitch against Oxford, right? So it's not like the reason why we lost is because we didn't have Aziz. right? It was just the way we're playing right now is to try and incorporate the Serb. Serb isn't firing. We got to change that.
Mm.
That's. I don't know what he'd say to him.
What we got to bear in mind is as well that was our first defeat away from home, not the way we wanted the record to end, but at home we have won our last 3 games without conceding. Leicester 1-0, Stoke 2-0, Middlesbrough West Brom 3-0. All right, we didn't start the season great, but we now want to try and keep this rolling at home. I can't even remember the Stoke game.
I thought we beat Stoke 3-0, but West Brom 2-0.
Right, that's I can't. I remember the Leicester game. I can't even remember the other. I know we won the other 2. I know Aziz scored an absolute fucking weldy.
Yeah.
Sturge scored 1, but I can't actually remember who was that against? Stoke or West Brom? Stoke.
They got close. Can't remember.
I'm trying to remember the West Brom. We're good hosts, aren't we? Jesus, right. Anyway, we've won 3 straight games at home anyway, and that's what we're looking to add to. Let's hope we can do it. Let's move on to a prediction. Okay. And so this is your pre-match prediction, and here we go. I am going for a 1-0 Millwall win. I think it's going to be a very physical. I think we're going to play well. What I like about performances at the Den sometimes is if we score first, and we have to score first, that is huge. We then defend a bit more in the second half, but defend really well. Good structure, good shape, bodies on the line, throwing ourselves in front of things. And I think we're going to get the job done. I think we're going to win the game by 1-0. And now I've got to give you a goal scorer. I'm going to go for Juicy Jake. 1-0. Bosh. Ken?
All right. I'm going to stick with my 3-2 win. I'm going to go with Langstaff to get 2. And after all of this, so I think we'll go really badly in the first half. I think we'll go 2-0 down. I think we're going to turn it round. I think he'll keep Ivanovic on, but he'll put Langstaff on. And I think Langstaff will get 2 goals and just shut us all up. In the 96th minute, Ivanovic will score the winner, and he will be the best striker Millwall have ever seen. To all of us Millwall fans.
Leicester will come in with a fresh 15 million bid.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking he scored his goal this season away against QPR, didn't he? So he actually hasn't scored. He hasn't scored at the Den this season, no.
No, and that was a set-up by Reece Bangura Williams, wasn't it? That goal?
No, QPR Aziz.
It was a half volley. Not half volley, full volley, wasn't it?
That was a Luton, last year.
Luton, yes.
Yeah. Alex Neil, of course, managed Preston. That's just popped into me. Managed Preston for a long time. I know the players that he had have been and gone, but hopefully that will give us a little edge. I'm just clutching at anything at the minute. Give us a little bit of extra insight. We know like Rowett knows how to play against us. We had that at Oxford. So Alex managed, I think, 4 or 5 years Preston. So let's hope that he knows something. I don't know. Maybe he knows the route of their bus and can put some traffic in the way on the way down or something. Fuck knows. But
just do something. Just do something.
So we've both gone for a win. 2 very different wins. I hope you're going to put some money on your one. That'll be about $1 million to 1 with all the goal scorers and timings and stuff like that. But let us know what you think in the comments below. And we will see you at the Den on Saturday. Ken, you are my guest this Saturday.
I am, yeah.
You actually told me it was an early kickoff, didn't you? I said, do you want me to drive? Because you don't like being driven anywhere, do you?
No.
No, so I said, do you want me to drive to you and we'll jump with you, or you want to drive my car? And you went, I said, about 1 o'clock or 12 o'clock, and you went, it's an early kickoff, mate. I was like, fuck, I didn't even know. So it is 12:30 if you are going to the Den. Hopefully there'll be a big crowd there. And just to wrap things up, I have never had a guest in the box and we've won a game. There you go.
Right.
I'm going to bring my little one. My little one's never seen us win. I've had my sponsors at points, different games, different sponsors. Come in our box, never won. I've had all you boys in the other box we used to have. We drew 0-0, I think, with QPR. Another time I get one in, we lost 1-0 at home. I've never records are there to be broke. I need you to come break this up for me on Saturday. That when we have a guest, I bring a guest into our box, like we've never won.
It's happening, Dan. It's happening. All right. I am very selective on my games that I go to because, as Grant would tell you, I'm under the thumb.
Check that calendar.
However, most away games, home games that I go to, we end up getting a result. So if I'm coming this Saturday, we're winning or we're drawing. So we won't lose.
Well, if you come and we win and you break the duck, there's only one option. You have to call the wedding off to my cousin. We are keeping it in the Millwall family, literally, for that one. And you'll have to just come in the box every game.
Yeah, I'll quite happily do it. Do you know what I mean? Quite happily do it.
Yes. Right, so we're going for wins from both of us. 3 points, early kickoff. All that's left for me to say, or us to say, is we'll both see you in beautiful South Bermondsey on Saturday. If you go in, please subscribe to Lions TV.
Come on, you Lions.